Yo, what is cracking, y'all? It's your boy K-Mac back up in this thing. Back in here for another Blitzburgh Coverage Podcast, episode number 36, recording live from the Trap House. Holy cow, y'all. It's been an entire month since we've talked. We got a heck of a show today, as we're going to talk about a new QB1 in town, free agency class / haul, trades galore. How Kevin Colbert's drafts have put us in this situation. And, yeah, man, we got a heck of a show to talk about. So let's dive right in, man. Let's rewind the clocks back. Because last time we talked, I was just so on the fence about everything. I was like, should we record one now and give a prediction as to how we think this is going to go? Should we do one during free agency? But I think today is the perfect day. St. Patrick's Day to Sunday fun day for y'all, man. Hope you all enjoying the holiday for those that celebrate it, and hope you guys are enjoying the weekend as we are finally in March, mid-March, man. So hopefully y'all out the winter, the cold. Some people like it, I don't, but hope you all have a good weekend. But let's get back to this. So like I said, let's rewind the clocks back to about a month ago, because that's the last time we all talked. And I was like, we got Arthur Smith. Let's see what the fuck happens. I'm sure Omar Khan has something cooking up his sleeve. And man, oh man, he did, man. So free agency started last week. Tampering started last Monday. And, we didn't really do anything the first day or two, I want to say. Just some re-signings, like we re-signed our long snapper. We re-signed Miles Killebrew, who was a defensive back for us, who's a big-time special teams player. He's had a lot of block punts, so I thought that was low-key. We also got a new punter, Cameron Johnston from Houston. See ya, Harvin, you were inconsistent, and you just weren't really good. So we got a new punter, and I think that'll help, just everything we could do, we tried to do. And so, my apologies if you're watching this and you see me squinting. I don't have my contacts in, so please don't roast me. But yeah, man, we started up, I want to say Thursday. I want to say it was Thursday, maybe Wednesday. It's just been a really hectic week, man, to be honest with you, with all these moves, because this has been the most active I've ever seen us. And I thought last year was crazy free agency wise, but this year has been even crazier. So we lose Mitch, we lose Mason Rudolph. KP's the only one in the room. We got no linebackers. Cole Holcomb is hurt. Quan Alexander, free agent. And so we start off with Patrick Queen, our biggest free agency signing, money-wise, at least contract-wise, in history. We signed the Ravens linebacker. I mean, that is insane. I mean, rival to rival. That was a main common narrative with a lot of these transactions this free agency period. Rivals going to rivals. So it's like, it's just wicked how that goes, how that turned out. And so we start off signing Patrick Queen, who, to me, is a very solid linebacker, probably one of the best middle linebackers in free agency that was there. He's probably a top 12 linebacker in the league, top 10. He's been really good for the Ravens out of LSU. Obviously, he was the alpha. I mean, not the alpha, but he was like the linebacker 2 to Raekwon, so they worked well off each other. So I think he'll be a great addition, man. I mean, Ravens Steelers players are, you take off the uniform, they're the same player. Physical. They play hard. And it's just wicked how these things happen. Like Mike Tomlin said to him years ago, you're not a Raven, because, it's like you're not a Raven until you beat a Steeler player, or you're not a Raven until you beat the Steelers, you're not a Steeler until you beat the Ravens. Like, there's just so much respect that goes in that rivalry. So a lot of people brought that up, how there's a little thing that Queen mentioned that Tomlin said to him years ago on the sideline. So we get Patrick Queen, which was big time. I was like, hell yeah, man, I know the offense needs help, but, hey, we needed a linebacker. We needed someone to add in the middle of that field, someone to help stop the run, someone next to Lana Roberts, and we did. That was a big-time addition. And then news started coming up that Russell Wilson was going to be visiting Thursday, and I was like, oh yeah, he's a Steeler. I'm just going back to my timeline. I'm just telling y'all how I was feeling in the moment. Pre, during, after. We're going to go through all that because this is going to be a very fine-tuned episode. Show, whatever you want to call it. As soon as he was visiting and he was there for hours on end and there was no news, I knew he was a Steeler. I knew we were bringing him in to sign him. You're not going to bring someone in unless you're going to sign them, And so Friday the news comes out. Russell Wilson is, or was it Thursday? I don't remember, man. It was. I woke up Thursday morning or Friday morning or something. I was like, let's fucking go, man. We got a quarterback. And I want to speak on the Russ thing. First off, let's keep it 100. He wasn't put in a very good position to succeed in Denver. Their defense was good the first year, but the first year, Nathaniel Hackett, not a very good head coach. Nathaniel Hackett only went there because he thought he could get Aaron Rodgers to come there with him. That didn't work. Nathaniel Hackett didn't want Russell Wilson. A so-so offense. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. And you also got to remember the fact they traded all that draft capital to get Russ. So the expectations were through the roof for him. Year 2, Sean Payton gets there, and Sean Payton didn't want Russell Wilson. He came in that situation wanting a different quarterback. And then that little sideline tantrum he had on him, totally unprofessional. So, and Wilson was, 26 touchdowns, the 7 interceptions? Take it for what they are. Numbers can be misleading, perhaps, but he only threw one less touchdown than Mahomes and Lamar, and 7 interceptions. If we had that type of production last year, who knows where we would have went, So, considering that at this point, Russell Wilson had more touchdowns in one season than Kenny Pickett had in his whole career, I was happy with it. I'm not expecting a prime Russ, but if we can get just a B tier Russ, maybe he can revitalize his career a little bit here. So he signed a 1-year deal, real cheap, like $1 million. Nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose by signing him, so why not? He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to 2, and Mike Tomlin, I think, and the Steelers will try to get the best they can out of him, and I think they will. So I think that was a big time move. So, and now we're gonna have to hop off of the free agency thing real quick and talk about the fact that as soon as Russell Wilson signed to Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett was not happy. He thought he was entitled to that quarterback 1 job. But guess what happens? News breaks out Friday that Kenny Pickett requests a trade. So we trade him. I was shook. I was like, wow. This is unbelievable. We traded Kenny Pickett to the Eagles for their 3rd round pick in this year's draft. Pick number 98. And then 2 7s next year. Christian, what's up?
Don't mind me.
Nah, man, you're good. The people would love to hear your voice.
Don't mind me. I'm just meandering through.
And so here we go, man. So we trade him to the Eagles, his favorite team growing up. And I was shook that we were willing to admit on this mistake from prior 2 years ago. Was never a fan of him. We traded him. And surprisingly got a good draft haul back, though we traded the 4th to Philly. So we move up 5 spots. We keep the 4th, get 2 7ths, and get a top 100 pick. We're on board because it's like, if you ain't gonna, if someone, because he thought he was entitled to that job just because he was the only one in the room. But you're really gonna act salty because the team adds another player to the room, and you think, oh, I should just be the starter. That's not how it works, man. So he didn't want to compete, but now he goes to Philly, his favorite team, and now he's going to compete with Jalen Hurts. Are you kidding me? That's even more set in stone. At least with Wilson, maybe if he struggles, they throw you in or whatever, man. So that happened, and we also ended up. So another thing that bothered me, I think it was. I can't remember. This past week has been crazy. So, not only we trade KP, but as soon as Russ comes in, I'm like, okay, Russell, Deontay, George Pickens, I think that'd be cool. But Deontay Johnson also requested a trade as well, which I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I don't know if it was because he was mad he didn't get an extension because next year is his last year in his contract or something. I'm like, yo. So we ended up trading him to Carolina for a 6th-round pick and a defensive back who's had some injury issues staying healthy and very fast, speedy corner. Probably a CB2, CB3 at best. But the thing is, it's like, we traded our number 1/number 2 for potentially a cornerback too because we don't have any cornerbacks. We don't have Levi Wallace. He's gone. Patrick Peterson. He's gone. So there's just JPJ left. Darius Rush. There's really the only one starter. So I understood we needed to add to the room, but I was like, you could have gotten something better for Deontay. I feel like you could have gotten something better, but, fingers crossed if Jackson stays healthy, maybe he'll be good. But we trade him, and this just shows me that with Omar Khan running things, they're running things totally different than how Colbert ran things. Like, they were just so chill, laid back, like, we'll make a move here, a move there, but nah, not this regime. Not this regime. They're saying, fuck this, we're tired of this shit. We're doing things different here. So that brings us to today's situation. And the fact remains that Kevin Colbert, no disrespect to him, but the last 5 years of his drafts were terrible, as only one active person since 2017 is on the roster, and that's TJ Watt. One person in 7 years is still here. Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous. So let's look at the last 5 drafts. The last 5 first rounds. 2018, we massively reached on Terrell Edmonds. Was he a decent player? Yes. But was he a first rounder? No. 2019, we traded up for Devin Bush. Traded massive draft capital. Massive future draft capital. Obviously, he only had one good year. Tore his ACL. The rest is history. He became a bust. 2020, our first pick was Chase Claypool in that COVID year. Didn't have a first rounder because he was a trade up for Devin Bush. Claypool, again, had one good year. Didn't really develop his game. Didn't really have the best effort. And now look where he is. You don't even know where he's at, do you? Is he at Miami? I don't know. I think he is. 2021, we picked up Najee. I'm good with that pick. That was the best pick we've had in a while. And honestly, that's the best pick we've had in the past 5 years. Good running back. Do you take running backs from round 1? No. But I think he's not a home run pick, not an A+, but I think he's a B+. I'm good with it. And then 2022, and I was way ahead of the curve on this. Check my timeline. Check my other YouTube channel, Mackie Fitness. I used to do stated videos on there. And, we took Kenny Pickett, 20th pick in the draft, in 2022 and the worst quarterback draft class I've seen probably since Blaine Gabbert and fucking Jake Locker. Like, this draft class was dreadful. And we took the first one when we could have taken better players there. Tyler Linderbaum, Daxton Hill comes to mind. But we took a quarterback. And, Kevin Colbert, that was your last first rounder, and it didn't work. Just like I said, it wasn't going to work. He wasn't good in college. It took him 5 years of college to have a good year. And he was in the ACC. I don't care. I was ahead of the curve. I'm sticking. I said it. So that leads us to where we are today. All right. So Mason Rudolph left. Russell Wilson is the only quarterback on the roster. Breaking news: Saturday night, Saturday evening. Steelers finally traded for Justin Fields, man. A 6th-round pick that potentially, based off the snap percentage this year, could move up to a 4th. You're telling me we got Justin Fields for a 6th-round draft pick? I was ecstatic because I was like, I was very in and out with this move for multiple reasons. Because I wasn't sure what we were going to have to give up for him, and I wasn't sure how we were going to play out his contract situation. Like, do we pick up his 5th year? Do we extend him? But we needed to add to the quarterback room, and it costed a 6th-round draft pick. And you get Justin Fields, who, and I'm just going to keep it real, Michigan fan, all sides of bias. I thought he was going to be a good quarterback coming into the league. But Chicago just, never really put him in the best position to succeed. Whether it was player-wise, not giving him a legitimate weapon till last year in DJ Moore. Cole Kmet's been a decent tight end there. Decent running backs, but nothing really crazy. Offensive line has always been terrible there. Defense, they traded Raekwon Smith. I mean, come on. Multiple OCs, multiple head coaches. How is a player ever going to succeed if you're not putting them in a position to do so? See Jalen Hurts, see Mahomes, see multiple quarterbacks. Like, they need players around them to do their job. And Justin Fields, at times, was a bit of a turnover machine, but at times flashed. And he flashed way more than Kenny Pickett ever has. Justin Fields has more talent in his toe than Kenny Pickett does in his body. I saw Justin Fields play a couple of years back in 2021. I went to Steelers-Bears Monday Night Football game, and the dude's an athlete, man. Athletic. The dude can move, straight up mobile. Can make throws from all over the pocket, outside the pocket. Very nimble. Not as good as Lamar in the open field or running-wise, but when he moves, man, that motherfucker can move. So now we got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. And the quarterback room was KP, Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky. No disrespect to Mason Rudolph. He played his game right. He was a true teammate, unlike KP. Mason Rudolph never threw a fit, never requested a trade, never acted like a little P-boy when they brought in Kenny Pickett. And arguably, like I said years ago, as soon as Ben retired, you should have just started Rudolph. See what you had with him. If he's decent, okay. If he sucks, then you draft someone. But they botched that entire quarterback situation because they felt the need to draft a Pitt quarterback because they thought they missed on one from 1980, whatever, from Dan Marino. Are you kidding me? That's what we're going to do? But nonetheless, the quarterback room flipped its head upside down, and now we have a Super Bowl champion and our potential quarterback one. As this was the fucking move to make. You add someone now to start this year, and Russell Wilson will be the starter. There's no questioning that. He will be the starter. And then You see what you have in Fields. Maybe you create some red zone packages for him. Maybe you create a couple plays for him. Maybe you put him in a wildcat. I don't know. Maybe you kind of scheme up some things. I don't know if Arthur Smith is capable of such things, but there is a massive overhaul in the offense. I'm all here for it, man. We also added Van Jefferson, who's like a wide receiver 3 or 4. So wide receiver wise, George Pickens is number 1. Calvin Austin the third's there. And I fully expect the wide receiver to be addressed in the draft, just as the offensive line I fully expect to be addressed in the draft. And that's what it's shaping up to be. But we'll talk about draft shit later this offseason. But nonetheless, man, this regime, totally aggressive, and I fucking love it. You get Fields for a 6, and he could potentially be your quarterback 1 of the future. Potentially. I'm not saying he will be, He's had his faults, of course. Nobody's perfect. But the talent's there, man. He's way more talented than Pickett. And that's why I'm cool with getting him. It's like, the motherfucker can move, and, we just give it time to cook. I think we'll be fucking great. Maybe not great, but I think we're in the right direction finally. So, we addressed the free agency haul. We addressed, my main takeaway, we want volunteers, not hostages. DJ, KP, see ya. And I was a Deontay Johnson fan. I even have his jersey. But now they're like a fool. But it's like, I'm not getting any more receiver jerseys. We covered the trades. DJ, KP, getting Dante Jackson, a potential quarterback too. We covered Colvin Colbert's drafts. So, I'm absolutely thrilled with this offseason. Add a linebacker. You add a receiver. No offensive line definitely concerned me, but I think we gotta look to the draft for that because we don't have a center. We don't have a center. Got a new punter. See ya, Presley Harvin, my bad, not Percy Harvin. Presley Harvin. And so, yeah, man. So that's episode number 36 in the books. I'm absolutely thrilled. I was very happy to see we added Russ. Because I was like, out of all the quarterbacks, he was really the only one that made sense. Like, because Kirk Cousins wanted a big bank. He got a big bank at Atlanta. Jimmy Garoppolo, no thanks. Other quarterbacks. And we got Fields. Like, we got Fields and Russell. I'm trying to think, where did all the quarterbacks go? Sam Howell got traded. Yeah, so hope y'all enjoyed this episode 36, season 2, episode 2. Y'all have a good weekend. And don't forget to give the show a rating. Check me on YouTube. All the socials are linked below. Let's go. The button.